So moving on to the main card, UFC 210 from Buffalo, New York. The only B in New York that I could think of was Brooklyn, and I knew that was wrong. Will Brooks versus Charles Oliveira. Do Bronx versus Ill Will. And
this was a quick one.
Yeah, pretty dominant, controlling. I mean, most of it was grappling. It was first round, but it was once Charles got a hold of him and got him down, got to his back, just worked his way to the rear naked choke. But yeah, and Oliveira coming off. Is he coming off of a loss? I mean, I know Will Brooks hasn't won.
Oliveira
since signing
lost
with
to
the
Pettis,
UFC.
I believe. I don't know if that was his last fight, but
yeah. So he had 2 losses. Pettis, then he lost to Ricardo Lamas. So this is a good win back for Oliveira, who was on a run until he hit Holloway.
Yeah.
And then he kind of...
that's when he tore his esophagus or whatever.
Yeah, but Max Holloway's still legit.
Then he beat Miles Jury.
I mean, Max Holloway is going to potentially be the new champion of the division. So it's no... I mean, even those throat fell away. But not a good win for Will Brooks, or loss for Will
Max
Brooks.
Holloway is a weight class down. Oliveira moved up to 155.
Right. So he's got...
He lost to Cowboy. He lost to 2 Oliveiras in a row.
Yeah. And that
The
Oliveira
Brazilian
fight
Cowboy,
was
and then...
kind of a close fight up until he lost. 3rd round. I remember it being competitive.
Yeah.
You know?
So he's 1 for 2 in the UFC. Big name signing.
Yeah, and his one is a guy that's kind of on his way out.
Yeah.
Ross Pearson, kind of. I mean,
And he
relevant.
didn't look great in
Good
that
name.
fight.
No, but that's. I mean, most guys coming from anywhere on their first fight in the UFC usually don't look great.
But they definitely didn't give him any favors.
No. Well, I guess he was champ, right, from Bellator.
Yeah.
Or he's big. He was good at in Bellator. Seems like whoever changes companies, none of them do really well.
So now it's 6-3. You got to win out.
Yeah. Which is, I don't know. I'm kind of confident. The only one... No, I mean, I'm not really confident about any of my picks necessarily. But Oliveira got a bonus on that one for... I mean, that's super dominant performance.
But you did pick that as potentially your fight of the night, and this was my pick.
This one?
Yeah.
I mean, mine wasn't a fight. So out of the 2, you definitely chose a fight.
Yeah.
But the next one, Thiago Alves versus Patrick Cote. I mean, Patrick, he was like consistently really good back in like fucking forever. Back when like GSP was fucking on a run, when Anderson Silva was on a run.
His first fight was like Tito, back when you could still wear shoes and shit. I think it was.
But like he was putting together a lot. Like he was going on a run. He fought for the title, and then he just kept breaking down.
Yeah,
and just never consistently looked good. So I picked this one, right?
You picked
I picked
it.
I was good with your pick on that. Yeah, I was good with your pick on that. I would have picked Alves. Yeah, he's been around forever too, but he doesn't have to cut weight as much for this one.
Well, not
I'm sure he's still cutting weight. But just based on the fact that Cote is just, inconsistent.
This was still a good fight.
I mean, yeah, it could have gone either way.
Yeah, but...
did it go all 3? Let's see where we're at here. Yeah. But yeah, good. I mean, a good showing for Cote's the first of 2 retirements for the night.
Yeah.
Patrick Cote kind of just tosses his gloves on the... I don't know who he looked at. I wish I could...
I think he looked at Joe.
Maybe. Yeah. I thought he was looking behind Joe towards where Buffer usually is.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe was Dana there? Dana put the belt on Cormier, right?
Yeah, but Dana doesn't come in between.
But he could have been looking through the fence.
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't know. He just kind of threw the gloves on the thing, and
I think he was hitting Joe up because he just kind of probably wanted to.
Yeah, probably
quick fucking moment.
Yeah. So yeah, Alves looked great. hurt Cote. Like, I mean, Cote really couldn't do much.
A lot of good leg
in the
kicks.
fight.
Dropped him at one point when he was rushing in. But, I mean, Cote was still landing shots. He was
landing shots.
It was a good fight.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely not like, as far as like a retirement fight goes, he put on a good fight. Didn't go his way, but it was a good fight. He had a good career, got emotional. But, and he's doing, I think, a lot of stuff in Canada with their...
Good on Cote, though.
Yeah.
I enjoyed a lot of his fights.
For sure, yeah. Like, when he was on his run, he was an exciting guy to... I mean, when he fought for Anderson Silva, it was like, I don't know,
his
maybe.
knee gave out.
Yeah, but that was like a guy where it's like, okay, because his striking was really good.
Yeah.
But then, he just started breaking down. And then kind of came back and had some good fights, but it was, clearly getting old. So moving on to the next fight. A fight that almost didn't happen. Tittygate, 2017, New York edition. Pearl Gonzalez versus Cynthia Calvillo.
How this got third billing on a pay-per-view card is fucking beyond me.
Well, because Dana White likes Cynthia. She thinks she's going to be like
that's cool.
Up and coming
now
star.
She's 5. I mean, she was 4-0.
First off, her striking looks sharper than most women fighters. Really fast boxing.
I thought she looked
great
was
amazing.
on the ground, but I didn't think she looked dominant on the feet.
I mean, Pearl threw a few things, but she wasn't doing shit on the feet. Pearl didn't really do shit. She was kind of similar
her
to like
defense was kind of
trying to throw, but she was throwing in water. She was like slow motion compared to Calvillo's throwing just sharp 1-2s.
Don't get me wrong, I was impressed. I still don't think it was should have been fucking
dominated.
Third on the card.
Maybe they knew that I mean, for sure the main event could easily be boring.
Yeah.
And the co-main as well. But I like the fight. I think Calvillo looked great standing and on the ground. Pearl, I guess their first fight in the UFC. She looked okay. She looked green.
Yeah.
But where Calvillo looks like even though she's only got 4, she seems like she's got a background in something. I don't remember them specifically saying if it's like she has a jiu-jitsu background, but her striking seems pretty sharp for
her ground
being
game.
new.
Her ground game was what impressed me. I said,
most of the fight was on the ground. I mean, that's where she won it too.
Yeah,
but I thought her stand-up looked good too. I mean, it
didn't look bad, but I don't know.
I don't know any. There's very few female fighters that throw crisp punches. They throw like they're in water. They're green. She didn't look green. I mean, she didn't. She's small. Yeah. She's tinier than her, so she probably doesn't have power. But she was, when Pearl's just got her guard up, even though she's not getting hit, she's also not doing anything. She's just defending.
Yeah.
The whole time the stand-up was going. Then she tried to throw a couple shots, but, they're just not good. Not good boxing. But anyway, good win for Calvillo.
So you won both of the last 2, so now you need to win 2 more.
Yeah. Which I'm feeling confident going into this one. Who chose this one?
I chose Weidman.
Yeah, I was good with this one. Chris Weidman versus Gegard Mousasi. And Weidman dominated the first round. For sure won the first round.
He won the first round.
And then
got tagged early in the second round, and then it got a little back and forth.
Yeah, there was, but right before, like, Gegard threw a nice little combo. They were like in the clinch or whatever, and he came up and he hit him with a knee, and Weidman tried to say that he got kicked in the nuts because he was starting to get pieced up.
Yeah,
and then it went to where Gegard had him in the headlock, and Weidman's trying to play the hands on the ground game. And
first knee, clearly the hand's only one hand's down.
Yeah. And it's not, it has to be, the rule is 2 palms have to be on the ground. Not fingertips. 2 palms have to be on the ground for it to be a downed opponent, where it used to be just 1 hand is all you needed, or 3 points of contact. So he was doing fingertips, if anything, on on one of them, and then nothing at all because Gegard just lifted him up to throw the knees. And Big Dan Murgliata had a bad view on it, thought it was illegal, and Weinman was probably...
It got wonky there.
It didn't... I mean, unless you see this... Like, they couldn't even find a good angle forever to even show that they were legal knees. So if you're the ref and you're looking at, like, during action and there's, like, big movement in, like, a small area, he'd have fucking... I mean, it could have been. Yeah. His hands were both down in that area. But, yeah, the replay clearly showed.
But like, he was like, and the first thing he said, those were illegal, like...
Yeah, he went down to a knee and, like, grabbed his head, and then, you know, I mean... You do what most people do when they think they got hit with an illegal strike. They play it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And either he played it up too much, and they're like, oh, well,
then
you say you can't fight, then I guess they were legal knees, so we can't do this.
But rewatching, he kept saying, I can fight. I don't know what the end decision came down to.
Well, it doesn't matter. He can say he can fight. Doesn't mean he can fight.
Oh,
that's why the doctors are the reason why.
But it just
they were doing their tests. They were doing tests the whole time.
But it seemed like another lady from outside the ring came.
Another doctor.
But I'm saying that wasn't even in there looking at him, and then just said no.
Well, yeah, I'm sure the doctor that was in there is like, listen, he's failing everything. He's like, I can't make the decision on my own.
The doctors that were looking at him were still in the ring when this third-party person came up and said it's over. So I don't know if it was totally a doctor's stoppage.
I'm sure it's like
or if it was
employee, supervisor. We got to go to our manager person. I don't know. We got to run this up the chain of command. I don't know how they work. First off, New York, brand new to MMA. Their commission is only dealt with like 6 fights in the state total, and if everybody works on every fight, so it's like they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They've never done this before, and they've done maybe 6 in the last 6 months. So they suck at their job. But Weinman played it up. Either he played it up and couldn't fight, or the doctors said he couldn't fight.
Was on the way to fucking piecing him up, though.
Yeah, it wasn't looking good, but he did also have like a 5-minute break while this like confusion's going on. Like at the end of that, they could have been like, okay, let's reset. And Weinman's going to be way more clear-headed than he was when he was trying to, get a DQ.
So that's
so who knows what would have been
in a row?
But it's like, yeah, why? Like, I don't know. Like
he's protesting this clearly.
Yeah, he said he's gonna, but it's not gonna happen because he fucked up. The doctor said he couldn't fight after he thought he was. They stopped for a potential illegal knee that it wasn't. So, I don't know. We'll see. It's like out of the things to like. It's like nothing illegal.
It was fucking weird.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you got kneed in the head, bro. They weren't illegal, and the doctor said that you couldn't keep fighting, even though you said you can, based on their tests and whatever strict guidelines. It's not Vegas, clearly. Vegas would have been like, let's get this going.
Pop that eye back in, son.
I mean, New York's like already. You have to do so many things. They go above and beyond like all the other regulations as far as like Rashad couldn't fight there.
Yeah.
Like a few fighters haven't been able to fight there because they're too strict on certain
almost
things.
Pearl Gonzalez.
Yeah, exactly. So
because of her fake tits.
Yeah.
So you won that one. So legitimately.
Which I thought, even though Weinman was winning, I still thought Mousasi was going to win that fight. And he did win the fight.
Yeah.
He
did.
Yeah.
And now in this last fight, I don't even want to win. You picked Johnson. I wanted Johnson to win.
It's crazy that it did go down to the last fight. But it's like, so Daniel Cormier versus Anthony Johnson for the light heavyweight championship. Daniel Cormier has defended his belt twice now. Twice. He won the interim belt. That wasn't for a belt. He just fucking survived a fight against Anderson Silva.
The belt wasn't on the line?
Fuck no. It was like some catchweight fight, just because that wasn't a 5-round fight. It was only 3-round, thankfully. Boring ass fight. So Daniel Cormier versus Anthony Johnson. Anthony comes in.
I'm pumped for this.
Yeah.
I want to see.
I
want to see somebody knock the fucking the goofy Carlton smirk off fucking DC's corny ass face.
Rumble knocked his ass across the ring the first time they fought.
I was.
And Cormier plays it up. It was like, I was off balance and shit. It's like you can't be off balance when you're flying through the air backwards. That's not how physics works. Well, first off, this fight, Cormier. Let's go back to the weigh-ins. Cormier,
Towelgate.
They both wait till the very end. Cormier says that the scale was off, although if it was off, then Anthony Johnson weighed in 4 pounds under, which is insane because he was worried about his scale. Anthony's scale
was legitimately off because he was 205 and then went down and weighed in at 203.
Yeah. But then that's the same thing Cormier was saying, that his scale was off, but he was going the complete other direction.
Yes.
And some reason that was being used as an excuse for a little bit. I'm like, that is like, how does that make sense? Like, if the scale is making Anthony Johnson weigh less on weigh-ins and Cormier more, it's like somebody went in and adjusted it to fuck you both up in a weird way. I don't know. It's like, it's pretty fucking stupid.
Maybe it was one of those Wi-Fi scales and someone hacked it.
And Cormier, his body shape he's not like the.
It's weird.
But he was flabby as fuck. He was way flabbier than. I mean, he's been
everywhere but his face.
He's
where
doing
he looked
TV,
like he was
man.
dying.
Yeah, because he's fucking trying to cut a shitload of weight. So he cheats and clearly.
Well, he doesn't make weight. He's 1.2 over, and we talked about this a little bit in our last non-UFC one.
True.
But literally, he has 2 hours. In New York has a 2 hour.
He did, but apparently he didn't know, and he just went back out.
But because he thought he only had 5 minutes.
Yeah, he didn't know that.
And
that's
so
what they say.
He walked out and then walked back in 90 seconds later.
Yeah,
and magically lost 1.2 pounds.
Yeah.
But he's leaning on his towel, clearly.
And as soon as it hit, he hopped off.
And here's the thing. His excuse was, I was trying
to hold it up.
To hold it up so you wouldn't see my junk.
Because the first time, he's
literally
make weight.
Pushing it down.
Yeah,
the first time they weigh him,
are stupid.
He's lying. Up here.
Here's the thing. He cheated, and he is a bad liar. Yeah, he is a really bad liar. And like all kinds of fighters, anybody that owns a scale, go on how much is a pound? 1.2 pounds of pressure. Like, I could take a fart and lose a pound and a half. The lift from the methane coming out of my asshole.
2 fingers like that. That's
So he's balancing it. He's like, look, go to any scale. If you own a scale, go and just see how easy it is to
touch
lose
the sink.
Just lose
with 1 finger.
You don't have to lose 5 pounds, which you can. You can lose easily 1.2 pounds, pound and a half, little less than a pound and a half. That's all you need. So whatever. He's a clean fighter though, guys. Why? Look at John Jones. He's shooting up steroids. That's what he got busted for. He got maximum sentence for steroids. It's like, no, he didn't.
Dick pills.
Yeah, he just didn't get his dick pill scanned, and they had an estrogen blocker in it. I mean, maybe he's cheating, but there's no proof. There's no proof.
Okay, so
we have proof. We have visual proof of Daniel Cormier cheating.
Now this fight happens.
Yeah,
and it goes out there, and Anthony Johnson
decides to be a fucking wrestler.
Tries to wrestle. It's like Olympic wrestler.
Ronda Rousey thinking she's a boxer.
It was the dumbest shit I'd
After
ever.
Just getting knocked out.
And then here's the other thing: the one time where he got good space, it fucking pieced him up and broke his nose. And then decided to keep trying to fucking clinch him against the ring.
Yeah. Well, the second round, Daniel Cormier engaged. Johnson was kind of keeping distance, but then once Cormier engaged, he didn't get out of it. But Cormier engaged the first time.
And then once Cormier got him down,
it was just a matter of time. It was basically like the first fight.
Literally gave up.
Once you saw
in
Johnson,
the second round.
Aside from like maybe he's just doing this because he did get Cormier down twice.
He did.
Cormier got him down once. So it's very similar to the John Jones-Cormier fight in that way, somehow. But that's all that happened in this fight. It was pretty quick. rear naked choke. Basically, it looked like the same fight.
Yeah.
Same first fight, just
Except
shorter. Didn't go to 4 rounds or 5 rounds.
And then Anthony Johnson retired.
Yeah. And I guess he was ready to retire when they were supposed to fight in Canada months ago when Cormier pulled out. So he's been waiting to just like, I got to do this shit.
I really feel like he I don't know. He just wasn't into that.
Who knows?
Fight.
Maybe he's like, maybe I don't want to get fucking hit anymore.
Well, that's
Fuck
what he
this
said.
Shit. Yeah. So it's like,
but I'm saying,
what's the best
just
way
in
to
this
not
fight,
get hit?
Like at least,
Yeah. What's the best way to
know.
not get hit? You don't fucking you wrestle them. That's what all the wrestlers do when they don't want to get hit anymore.
Didn't
they
work
just
out
wrestle.
that well.
No, it was a bad, but he didn't give a fuck. He was like, whatever. But at the same time, imagine if he did win and then he retired, like won the belt, retired.
Yeah,
like,
you guys
peace.
can fight over
Yeah,
it now.
it's like this. You guys can fight over your interim belt.
Yeah,
or whatever they call it. Yeah. So
it would have been awesome.
not a good win for Daniel Cormier. Good career for Anthony Johnson for sure.
Yeah.
Watch his shit on Fight Pass. You want to talk about just? I want to rewatch.
He used to fight at
his
170. God, that's terrifying.
I know. I could see him. He mentioned in the post fight interview, not the post fight in cage, but the whatever.
Yeah,
that he maybe come back to fight a heavyweight fight. I think he said against John Jones. I mean, that would be the best one to do because that was the matchup that never was.
Yeah,
everybody wanted to see him versus John Jones, which would have been sad if he won this and then everybody, fuck, we're finally gonna get the
and then
we're
he's still
finally
retired.
gonna get it, and he retires. Yeah, but that'd still be gangster to fucking retire.
Yeah.
After winning it. But anyway, Anthony Johnson, Patrick Cote, you will be missed.
And
Cormier, you will not be missed. But, you know, you are a dirty fighter, Cormier. You can't deny that. I mean, maybe you didn't take drugs. Maybe you did take drugs, just never got caught. But everybody saw you cheat. Everybody saw you cheat. Fucking Cormier is fat. Hashtag Cormier is fat. Let's get this going, Cormier. Let's lose some weight together, bro.